With the news on the block. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat. Drop winning my booties, using my daily boots. Hey, don't stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of validation. No congratulations on no celebration.
Hey family, happy Thursday, everybody. How y'all doing out there? How is everyone? Thank you for coming into the room, for joining us for another great Thursday night conversation. I hope you all are ready and excited to join in with us on tonight. So, as always, I am your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo Sheila Network. I am just really happy to be here with you guys. I'm gonna be mellow tonight. You know, I'm gonna do my mellow tonight. I don't know how long. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but we're gonna try. I've been trying to rest in my soft girl era these days, but I don't know. It hasn't really been. It hasn't really been working out, but um, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens once again. So happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome in to the Bravo and Sheila Network here on this side of the street. We are so glad you come to join us for another week of conversation. Want to welcome everyone in and invite you to comment, to share, and to engage. We love talking with you, and we hope that you love talking with us. We just want to grow together and be better, right? Right. I know I do. I'm looking forward to the conversation tonight because, of course, it is one of my favorite segments that we have here. It is the Men's Lounge. You know, something happens when men speak. But before we bring the brethrens up on tonight to engage in some convo, just want to put a few little disclaimers out there on tonight. Again, while this is not a Christian network, most of us on here are believers. And so when we're sharing from our space of experience and our life's journey. This is not a counseling session. It's not therapy. It is conversation for us to come and dialogue together openly, freely, and you're able to express yourself. However, the number one rule, because we operate in integrity, is respect, 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 and more respect. Whether it's in the comments or on the panel, we do ask that everyone respects one another's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. This is a safe space to share, and we want to keep it that way. We don't have to agree, but we do have to respect one another. So let's tune in, listen in, and grow with one another. Is that all right with y'all? I hope so. Can you believe it? We are at the end of October. This month is gone, y'all. Tomorrow is the 31st. And then the greatest month to ever be out of the 12 months is here. November is up. You know, I'm trying to calm down about that. I'm just saying, I'm a little biased when it comes to November. That is my birthday month. And actually, it's my birthday month. And if you tune in on Monday nights at 7 p.m. with Dr. Elaine from Mondays Beyond the Mic and myself on Monday nights, Dr. Elaine's birthday is in November. And of course, the amazing, beautiful, phenomenal, one-of-a-kind curator of this space, my Auntie Bravo, you know her, you love her as Pastor Sheila. Her birthday is also in November. So yeah, we're a little biased on this side of the street. So November is going to be lit, but make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you don't mind, please, ma'am, please, sir, I see we have maybe 6 people showing up right now. If you could just hit that thumbs up button, just I don't want you to knock it off, but I do want you to touch it. Just tap it if you would not mind. And then subscribe. And then, I know I'm asking a few things, right? And then also share so that someone else can come in and be a part of this great conversation. I think we're going to have a good time tonight here within the men's lounge. We might mix it up, do something a little different in different kind of way. You know, you never know what happens on Thursday night. But we want to invite you all to join in and share. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button, we appreciate it. Before we get into this conversation and bring up our squad, I'm excited and looking forward to it. I got some questions for the men on tonight. And, you know, we might have to, well, we'll worry about that later. We'll see how it goes. But anyhow, let's see what else. If you are looking for spiritual guidance or encouragement, maybe you need some prayer, you need a word of the day, maybe you need some meditation or, you know, just a song of encouragement. You can go right across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. And over there, you will find Pastor Sheila doing amazing things throughout, as well as over here. You will see her over here with super patch. Listen, y'all tag in. Y'all, come on, y'all. You got some pain somewhere, go see her. She'll hook you up. She'll take care of you. But we have Pastor Sheila doing that over here. And then across the street, she's over there teaching, preaching, praying, sharing, singing, all of the things. She is walking ministry. Okay, so you can definitely get some good encouragement over there, along with my mama. That's right, Pastor Rosa, my mom. She teaches and she shares from the word on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. And on Fridays, tomorrow, you get a trio of treats, which is Pastor Sheila, my mom, Pastor Rosa, and my auntie Gangster. That's right, Reverend Jenny. The three of them comes together as the Women of Grace, sharing from the word, encouraging us through biblical principles for modern day practices. So, look forward to that. And I'm proud to say, y'all get ready, okay? I'm about to, you know. But in November, I'm going to be jumping over across the street too. So I'm going to switch hats and it'll be Elder Dawn B with some spirituality on Fridays from 12:40 to 1:20. 30 minutes in the word with me. So I hope you guys will come over and join. Go over there, tap, share, like, subscribe, all the good things over there. All right, and we look forward to that. So now that we got all the church business and announcements out of the way, we can get ready to get into this conversation and bring up our panel so that we can get started on tonight. But again, please like, subscribe, and share. Invite someone into this conversation and into this space. We look forward to having an amazing talk with you. And of course, we could not do any of what we do without who? The greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets. She is in the need, Kenya, and we love her so much for always being on deck with us. Hey, beautiful, how are you? Thank you for tuning in on tonight. And also, I see, that's right, my mama, Pastor Rosa, is in the building. She says, good evening, everyone. Just stopped by to say have a great show. Thank you, Mommy. We appreciate it. You just made the show even better. And then we have, who we got here, the SI Network. Look at here. Hey there. How are you? Come on, y'all, give it up for Auntie Bravo in the building. That's right. She says blessings, everyone. She always makes sure to stop by and check on us, making sure that we are good and good. Oh, and here we go. I talked about her a few minutes ago. The amazing Dr. E. I have the privilege of co-hosting with her on Monday nights. She's in the building saying, hey, sis. Listen, y'all, go get her book. She has a new book out, and I don't want to jack it up, so put it in the chat for me if you could, sis. What I believe is referring to I'm a woman with issues, but I'm still qualified. So y'all go get her book. It's $25. Please make sure you go support her. I promise you, it is going to bless your life. I can't wait to get my copy in my hands. And when I do, after I read it, we're going to bring her over here to this side of the street and we're going to put her in the opposite chair. So she's not going to be in the host chair. She's going to be in the guest chair. And we're going to talk it out and walk through her book, see where we're at. So without further ado, I believe that is it. Actually, no, hold on. I want to say good evening and welcome into all of you who are in the expensive seats up in the silent section. We see you, we know you, we love you, we appreciate you coming in. We keep telling you, come on down to the comment section. It is safe down here. We have security. Anae is on her post. She will put the people out, I promise you, if she has to. But thankfully, we have not had to do that just yet. So we look forward to it. But we want to thank everyone for tuning in. So please, again, hit that thumbs up button. Share the live, share out this podcast so that others can come into these great conversations. You know, we just keep it a buck over here. We keep it real. Thursday nights is laid back, chill, relaxed, very open, and a lot of fun. We never know what is going to happen ever. That's right. Theo says, I can't wait to get my copy. Listen here. Me neither. Okay, so we're gonna have her come on over once we get that book in our hands, and we're gonna have a ladies' room conversation about being a woman with issues but still qualifying. But for tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear, we swear, the best conversation of the year. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. It's not the night for the ladies. It is the men's lounge night, but we're going to mix it up a little bit, keep it a little dicey and spicy, but it's going to be focused on the men. So listen, I'm excited because I got my big bro in the building on tonight, always showing up. He's not just brawn, he is brains, and he is you like that? You like my scale chart? You know, I used to back in the day, you know, a little something, you know, I'm just saying. I can do it again if you want. I'm going to do it one more time, okay? So tonight, on this very night, you're about to hear, we swear, the best conversation of the year. So go, cheerio, yell, scream, bravo. Oh, no, if you didn't know, this is on my show, okay? This is tell you what kind of night it's gonna be, y'all. This is where we at. Okay, so come on. I'm gonna bring up my big bro. Like I said, he is not just brawn, he is brains, and he has the biggest heart ever. See, I'm multi-talented, y'all. I'm multi-talented. I just be trying to be low key, y'all. I don't know. Come on up here, Mr. Rockology. How are you doing, big bro? What's up?
Hey sis, how you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Let me see. Let me give you some applause. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Did you like my little? You like my rap? You like that? What's that?
Yes, I was on the turntables for you. I was on.
I saw you back. You was giving it.
Like,
Don't say, don't sleep, y'all. Don't sleep. You know, I can take it back.
The fingers and all. They don't know nothing about all that. They don't know nothing.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you are back with us on tonight. I know the peoples love you. So I'm glad they're good to see you too. And I'm glad that we're going to hear from your amazing voice because why, as the motto of the Men's Lounge, something happens when men speak. So with that being said, we're going to welcome in, y'all know him now. I am going to have to relabel him as Mr. Disclaimer. So, the views, thoughts, opinions shared by this next guest are not necessarily those of the Bravo with Sheila Network, nor myself. However, we welcome him and we love him. Y'all know we love him. He's always going to bring us some Dr. Seuss philosophy that's going to make a whole lot of sense after you think about it. You know, I see him. He's raising his cup already. So come on in, Sir Eric, into the building. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Brother Rock, good to see you back, my man.
The top food.
What's up, Big E?
Chilling. Recovering from this hip replacement surgery, but I'm good otherwise.
Beautiful, beautiful.
How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good too.
Did you like my rap? Did you like my? Did you like my rap? It was good, right?
No.
Oh, really? That's what we do.
No, you stumbled.
You're just a hater.
Stumbled a little bit, but it's
I
okay.
didn't stumble. I didn't you don't know music. You don't know music. Maybe you know the DJ side. Those were dramatic pauses on this side. Same way in singing. All right. You're just mad. You're just mad because you wasn't there. You just wasn't there. It's okay. It's all right. You know what? We're not gonna fight yet.
Yeah.
But we
Next
welcome.
time, just get him a ticket.
She only did it that way because she was at the recording.
I'm always at a recording. Thank you. Mind yourself. Anyway, and so tonight, I'm not even gonna bother to wait. We know
I digress. I'm gonna behave tonight. Yes.
you're not. We already had this discussion. You're not, and it's fine. It's okay. We're ready for it. So it's all right because you know what? It's all good because America's sweetheart, also known as the sweetheart of Bravo, is in the building, and so now she's gonna make sure that the tables, we're even, the odds are evened out. And listen, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Okay, I've had a long day, but I'm here. All right, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. Okay. Right, I'm on my 45th glass of water for today, so I'm a little delusional. Okay, but I'm doing what I got to do. So,
Bucky, keep it pushing.
There you go, because this girl is getting it together. That's a story for another time. You ain't gonna distract me today, Eric. Anyway, I'm gonna bring her up now. We ain't even gonna wait. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. She is the amazing, one of a kind. You know, when she speaks, everybody listens. She is my sis. Coach Theo is in the house. Welcome in tonight, sis.
Coach Theo.
That introduction gets better and better.
Coach Theo.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Did you like my rap?
You know I love everything that you do, sis.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. See, look, even mommy says, my daughter, the woman of many talents, rapper like none other. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you. You taught me well.
Why you ain't correct, Mom? She put rapper as rapper. She said R-A-P-E-R.
Don't worry about what she said. She can say what she wants. She can say what she wants.
Oh my God.
Mom can say whatever she wants. And I did correct it because this is what we call covering one another. Something you apparently don't know anything about doing because you just shut your mom out, you know. I see what kind of men's lounge night this is gonna be. Let me drink some water first.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna be able to chill in the.
You know, apparently not tonight, since you know Sir Eric the Matador has decided to choose violence today.
I got away with last week.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't here last week, so you got.
We didn't talk about. We're not talking about last week. We can't go back in time. We're talking about tonight.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Somewhat, but you know, I'm getting there.
Okay, well, when we have our medical show, you can come on and tell everyone about the process.
I can't with you.
Okay, Dr. I, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, everyone, tonight's conversation in the men's lounge, we're going to ask a couple of questions, and we hope that the audience will engage you guys. Will engage with us as well as you always do, because we want to hear from you. But I'm going to post some questions to the men if that is all right. And it is all right. Why? Because I said so. So there you go. So it is all well. We'll post some questions to the men. And then I think I'm going to ask our coach, Theo, to respond to what they said, maybe from the woman's perspective of hearing what they have said, if that's all right. And we'll see how that goes. But chat, we want you to share as well also. So one thing I do want to say before we get started is this. Now, ladies, typically on the men's lounge, we don't usually have women up. We just let it be the men. But tonight we're going to do something just a little different. However, I do want to put this out there. that, ladies, this is a safe space. It's for conversation. We're not here to criticize nor have rebuttals. Responses are fine, but we're not trying to rebuttal what the men are saying, because something happens when men speak, and we want them to be able to speak freely, openly, from their vulnerable spaces, and share without their responses being picked apart. Okay, so we're gonna listen in tonight, but this is a place of conversation. So I'm gonna state up front that we are not going to respond to what we hear with, well, men do it, or what about when the men do it? Like, let's not have that kind of conversation. Can we do that? Is that all right? Is that okay? Because we want to be able to hear and learn. All right. And when it's the ladies' room time, I will ask the same of the men. But I just want to put that out there because I don't want us to get into a combative type of conversation. We want to be able to hear each other out and to be able to engage. So respectfully, if I do see that, respectfully, I will not be posting those comments that are going to be just so that we are not, being defensive. Again, we want to listen to what the men are saying. I just don't want anyone to feel any way, because I really want us to hear and learn. And here we're not talking for everybody. It is not absolute. It's not every man, every woman, because we are all different. But there are some commonalities. But if we can engage in conversation that will help us to open up, broaden our understandings and our horizons, we have a better opportunity to learn and to grow and to build better relationships. Okay, so we're learning to lead by listening. So let's do that. We can lead our men into safer spaces to share with us if we listen or when we're listening. And again, as always, I say we don't have to agree, but let that listening be the beginning of our conversations. So is that all right? I appreciate y'all. All right, so let's get into it. So one of my first questions on tonight is to the men folk. Rock, I'm gonna ask you this first. What's one thing you want more women to understand? And Eric, you can think about that too. What's one thing that you want more women to understand?
That sometimes men may need a timeout as well. That sometimes, from my exposure and my experience, men really don't get an opportunity to say, you know what, I had enough. That's it. I'm just gonna go sit down for. We don't really get that opportunity because we're always expected to perform regardless. Where sometimes women can get that opportunity, like, you know what, I had enough. I'm not doing that. I'm done. And even us as men. Like even the husbands and stuff, we were like, okay, you ain't got to do it. I'll pick up this. But a lot of times we don't get that opportunity. We got to keep going. And that's where sometimes the overload comes from. And then you might get some aggression, and it's not really aggression towards the woman, but it's misdirected frustration. Whatever frustrations they may be going through in life, sometimes it comes out because we don't get the opportunity to check out. We don't get that opportunity. I wish they would understand that sometimes we just need a break as well.
I respect that. I like that answer a lot. And that's something that we need to consider. So thank you for that share. That's a good one. I had to write that down. Eric, what's one thing you want more women to understand?
That women need to be more compassionate towards us when we're dealing with stuff. Sometimes we like to raise our voices to get our point across, but it's not so much to.
You may have to repeat that because you were going in and out a little bit. We were losing you a little.
Okay, I said compassion.
You said men require compassion.
Right. Men require compassion, just like women require compassion. Sometimes we like to talk a little louder And sometimes the woman will take that as take offense to that because they think that we're starting to get loud and starting to yell a little bit at them, and that's not the case. Tasha tells me all the time, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling. I might go from one tone to the next tone, but it's not me yelling at you. It's me being a little frustrated and me needing to get what I have to say off my chest. So compassion."
Mhm.
All right. So we've heard that men need, ladies, one thing that we need to understand is that men need a timeout as well. They need the opportunity to have uh, a moment to check out before they get overwhelmed or when they're overwhelmed. And also that we men require compassion just as much as we do. So, Coach Theo, what is your response to take, or what do you think we as women can do after hearing their responses? What do you think is a tool that we could use to show up for our men better based on what they've said?
I
Like
mean,
how do we?
sometimes they just need a moment to unwind, right? And a moment to just settle in. So I think I think it's also thinking about what you need as well. Sometimes you think about what you need, right? Because I'm sure there are days when I walk in the house and I'm like, I just need to sit somewhere still for a minute, right? There are times when I sit in the car, and hell, I live by myself, but I sit in the car, right, to just reset the energy so I don't bring it into the house, right? So I think just be mindful of what you need, and sometimes it helps you to also understand what your significant other or your partner might need as well. So I think a lot of times we just gotta be, but I think also for women, we just really gotta listen to hear, not listen to respond, right? And that goes to where Eric was talking about us being more compassionate, right? Like really just understanding that sometimes we have to listen to really understand the message, and also sometimes the tone is there's a passion behind what's being said as opposed to someone yelling at you.
All right, I love it. I love it. So, ladies, I hope that, and men, if you are watching, please feel free to chime in at any time in the chat. Let us know one thing that you want women to understand or understand more. It's a space where we're trying to relearn how to do life together the right way. So, while we can pause and hear from you, it helps us. Now, what we do with this information may be a little different, but at least if you put it out there, women, we can't say we did not know that, we've never heard it, but it's our job to then figure out how to implement it in our lives and relationships. And it's going to look different for everyone. So I love that. Above all, consider your partner, your mate, the men in your lives. I think this is applicable to our children as well. I know I give my son a hard time. I give my son the time he deserves. No, I give my son the time he gives me most of the time. And sometimes he doesn't understand it until he experiences it, So when I show up as him, then he's like, well, wait, what? And I'm like, right, because this is how you do, so that consideration piece works both ways. I'm just saying, but I'm working on being reformed and showing up a little differently, and understanding. So I really love that, remembering that men need a time out as well. And with that, I believe that is where the compassion comes in for us. The opportunity for compassion comes in. And while, yes, men may speak heavier, and at a a hiked volume, but that is emotion I believe when people yell, I believe when people yell, it's because they feel like they're not being heard, and when we raise our voices or they're not being received. Sometimes raising of the voice is what people feel they have to do to shock a person into paying attention and really listening and hearing what another person is saying. And again, we just want our men to be safe. So, I appreciate y'all sharing this information. I hope it's helpful. Welcome in, everyone. If you're just joining us, it is Thursday night in the men's line. We are having conversation in a little bit of a different way tonight. Got some questions for our men before I'm going to let them share a little something, whatever they would like to share. So I sent a clip to our group, and it was Trill from tonight's conversation. And one of the things he was talking about was, how do you know if a man loves you? And again, this is not a one size fits all. This is not just, everyone is the same, but there are some common things that happen in relationships that maybe sometimes we as women, we are missing when we are questioning. It reminds me of the video when the little girl's asking her father, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Like 69 times. It's so cute. But a lot of times women, we do that to our men. And I think it puts them in a space where, like, what else do you want me to do? How many times can I say yes? How many times can I convince you? Why do I have to convince you? So I wanted to kind of touch on that so that women, maybe this will help us become more secure and understanding how our men can express their love. Maybe we're missing some of those signs of love. And again, just having good conversation about it. Because, and again, it is different for everybody. But hopefully it opens up some conversations or some other type of dialogue. So, gentlemen, let me ask you this. What is for you, what is the proof? I think as a man, what is the proof, if you would say, that a man really loves you? What do men do that proves to a woman that I really love you? That is not just words, because we hear that quite often. And if I'm being honest, I'm not going to be, well, I still have time to be toxic. 2025 is not over. But men use that. Some men can use that statement just to get what they want, because they know that that is something that women love to hear. So help us understand, what is some of the ways that are proof that a man really loves you? And again, this is not just one size fits all, but it'll open some understanding. So let me see. Eric. Sir Eric, what is one way?
One way,
Or something that shows, that will provide proof that a man really loves you.
that's kind of,
What's one thing you do to show your wife that you really love her?
ooh.
Again, the thoughts, feelings, and opinions
Wait,
that are expressed.
no, I'm being honest. Laundry, cook, cleaning, buying her flowers. Just maybe throughout the day, I might text her just to say, hey, I'm just thinking of you. Hope you're having a good day. And all, but there's two sides to that, because, like you said, some men could just say that because they want to get something out of a woman. So the woman has to be able she has to be able to know her man and so forth, to know if that man is being genuine in his actions and so forth. A lot of women have that intuition where, they can be like, "Oh, he really does love me," and then you have some women, it'll go right over their head and they're not even paying attention, and that man is going down the block to Sally Mae's house, and you don't even know. So, there's two sides to that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So you speaking of how he serves you genuinely, in a sense.
Right.
Okay, that works. All right, Rock. What say you? What's one way or something that is proof that shows that a man really loves you? Help us sisters out.
As a young fella growing up, I'm a person that watch a lot. I pay attention to a lot. And as a young fellow growing up, I always paid attention to what a lot of men in the neighborhood take care of their cars and their boats and stuff like that. I remember as a young man. Now I don't even think I was quite a teenager yet. I remember saying, "That's how I want to treat my woman. I want to cherish my woman." I think men, anything a man loves, he cherishes. He takes care of it. They're waxing cars even when they know rain's coming. They still out there waxing them. You cherish them, even when they're having their moments. You still cherish them. You're still there for them. You're still available for them. You're not shutting down, right? You're always there, and you're making sure that they're comfortable. You're making sure that they're secure emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. And you're just there. You're available.
Okay, I love that. I love that. And that's kind of where that clip that is sent. And if anyone gets a chance to watch it again, it's Trill from tonight's conversation sharing on the fact of how men show up. As he's saying, one way that's proof that a man really loves you is how he shows up. And basically it was about his presence versus his apology. Because as we go through things, it's the man who says, you present a problem to him or something that you're experiencing. And it also, I believe, leads into couples with what both Eric and Rock have said. And, the response that the man gives you is, "Oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it works out for you, or, what you going to do," versus the man who shows up in your life that says, "Okay, I got it. I got you. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to jump in, or this is what," just showing up, being present, and taking action on whatever it is that you're experiencing is one of the main ways that he said that was proof that a man really loves you. He said, because one of the joys of a man that makes men feel like whatever this manly thing is kind of being able to save the day, in the life of your woman and the women that you love. The woman that you love, even if you're not there. I love one of the things he said was that even if he's not there and something needs to be fixed, he'll send somebody to fix it. He'll make sure that it gets fixed. So it's showing up as presence versus just apologizing for whatever is going on, or showing sympathy or empathy towards it. And I think sometimes we as women don't know how to, I don't know if it's really fair to say, may not always know how to embrace those things or men showing up in our lives that way, in a positive way, because we're so used to having doing so much for ourselves, or thinking that this is going to come with something else. It can't just be his way of showing love. And again, it's not for everyone. It's not everybody's case scenario. But before I go to Coach Theo, Rock and Eric, is that a true statement that men really do want to show up as the savior for the day for women? Is that one of the things that makes you feel like you are doing your job or holding your position or covering as a man?
Yes, but I also had to learn and still learning that even though that may be my makeup, I also have to learn that she's not always looking for you to save the day. Sometimes she's just looking for you to listen. She's not looking for you to fix it. So sometimes when you get into the point or you got to fix everything, it could really, even though you mean well, it could cause an issue because
Hmm.
good intentions can produce bad results, right? So we have to understand that. I had to understand, not we, but I had to understand that it's not for everything to fix. Sometimes they say what they say, okay, all right, and when they walk away, because but because we do. When a man cherish something or cherish his woman, whether it's his wife, his daughter, granddaughter, whatever, they're in there fixing. So they did what happened? Okay, Papa got it, Dad got it, or I got it, right? And that's how I respond. And then sometimes, and even my granddaughter sometimes they're growing up and like, no, Papa, I don't know. I'm just sharing with you. I don't need you to say nothing to them. I don't need you to do nothing. I'm just sharing. I'm just
Stand
talking to
down,
you. And
Papa.
I'm like,
Stand.
all right, all right. I'm listening. I'm listening, because so I'm still learning, right? It's
Okay.
not always about fixing, even though that's my makeup. I want to come and I mean, even with sisters, you know that. You're like, well, such and such and such. I got you next time. No, that's not why I'm telling you. That's not why
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen to me. So
Yeah, because your fixes are different. They have a different kind. Oh, but no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So, ladies, I think we have to be clear as to how we want y'all to show up. And just be clear if you got somebody like Rock in your life, because if not, it's gonna pop off quick. What you say, Eric?
Um, for me, it's not a, it's not an ego thing with me where it comes to like saving a day, so to speak, and so forth. My nature is just to be there and help. If you need help, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna help and everything. I'm not gonna let you do it by yourself and everything. Or if I decide just here in the house, I see something, I see something out of place, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. I can
Okay.
come home and be like, well, why'd you do that? Because it needed to be fixed. Well, I was gonna call maintenance. Why you gonna call maintenance and have to wait 3 weeks for them to come? And I'm sitting here and I got it done in 5 minutes. So what's the problem? I did it. It's done. I didn't do it as an ego thing or anything like that. It needed to get fixed and I got it fixed. If the stove goes out, yeah, you call somebody, we can call somebody for that. Because that I'm not touching. The refrigerator goes out, I'm gonna go buy a new refrigerator.
Okay. All right. Just doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done.
Right.
Um, And that's what it was. Okay, come on, jump in, Coach Theo. What say you from the woman's perspective, um, concerning
Yeah,
the
I
men?
mean, I agree. Like, I think for me, I can't talk for everyone, but for me, I think actions speak louder than words, right? And so I think there is something to your mate demonstrating how he loves you, and like both Eric and Rock said, right? It's also getting to know your mate, right? Getting to know your wife, your woman, your partner, right? Because you want to be able to demonstrate in ways that the person appreciates, right? And so I think that's key as well, right? Like, you're gonna do things that she really is going to take to heart because it's something that she can appreciate, right? Whether you know her well enough to know what are the things that are going to make her smile, right? You know her favorite flowers, right? You know her favorite artist, right? Getting tickets to a concert without her for her favorite artist, or just planning, a day out, right? Just getting to know someone enough that when you are demonstrating, you're demonstrating in a way that they appreciate, because it's something that they like and they want and they need, right? Like, so I think that's important, so.
That's good. That's good. And I know
For
everybody.
me, I'm gonna need you to take my car to the car to the car wash, right? Without me asking, right? Because I will tell you, right, and don't judge me. The thing I'm struggling with down here is they have all of these little car washes where you drive through, then you got to drive up to this little station and vacuum the car yourself and dry the car off yourself. And I'm like, listen, I need self-service until God sends me the man that could take my car to the car wash, right? So, but but I think there's something to having that individual that's going to do things that are meaningful to you.
I can agree with that. I do agree with that, and everything that has been said by all three of you. When I was looking up, want to see what society or the world is saying about it, because I think sometimes it also depends on your view of love. What does love look like? And I think that's one of the things we have to be very clear about in relationships of all kinds is I need to know what love looks like for me. And I'm not talking about, we always talk about love languages and that. I'm not necessarily talking about that, but on a day-to-day practicum, like what does that really look like for you? What makes you feel most loved? What does love sound like, to you? And how are you willing to reciprocate that? But it said that you can tell a man loves you by observing his actions, which show respect, commitment, and deep emotional connection. And as everyone talked about the actions, because you sound like, everyone's very action oriented, which also leads back to the clip where Trill was talking about his presence. How a man shows up in your life is going to dictate how much he loves you, how he loves you, and how much he loves you. And women is just the same. But we have to, I believe, make room for men to be able to show up that way. I know I can be combative to a degree because let's see, Dr. Elaine says agreed. Yes, ma'am. We have to make room for that.
But what would you consider to be combative?
For me, I can be combative in this way. Okay, so I posted something early because I saw it and it made me laugh, and because it made me think of myself. It says when Little Miss I Can Do It Myself meets Mr. Sit Down.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I said, oh, okay. So you have to talk to me like that, out here.
Another combative way is? Another combative way is when you with someone who does not know how to accept the love that you're demonstrating. That could be another combative way as well.
You're right, and I have to admit, and this was like because that right there, it made me go sit down. Like it threw me like Moose's statement last week. It just took me out. I was like, oh. I can do it myself. And it's the Mr. meets Mr. Go sit down. You're talking but I don't, okay. Like you said, being able to receive that.
Yeah.
And we have to make room for it, because some of us have been so independent or so strong for so long, as Mary J says, that when that man comes up and shows up in our lives as a man should, doing these things, we don't know how to receive it. So then the other side of that is that we are rejecting men who are willing to show up in our lives in that way. And then we get upset and say there's no good men. Yeah. And there's no men trying out to do, all these things. Yeah. And again, as I was reading, it was saying, the actions that show love, because men and women may show love differently because our roles are differently in each other's lives. We're expecting the men to be the physical, the brawn protectors and all that. And women are supposed to be the emotional protectors, so we say, so to think, but one of the ways that they talk about the actions that show love, come on, cut it out, is that he makes you a priority. He carves out time for you and makes decisions with your well-being in mind. it may not always be the time that we may want, or as much time as we may want. But when a man pauses to make time for us, we have to, instead of greeting it with an attitude, I think sometimes we have to learn how to be a bit more gracious. Now, it's a little fine line, because if it's 6 weeks and you're not making sound like there's a problem, but
I think you have to think about the fact, right, that is knowing your person, right, and but also because I also feel like some women will be like, oh, I want a man, he got to have a job, he got to be able to do XYZ, right? But then when he's working, right, now you mad because he's always working. So what's the balance, right? I think that's why it's so important to, communication is key. And we talk about that all the time, but I think people use that word so lightly because it comes down to, right?
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Hold on right quick, because we got a super chat in the building on tonight, and we got to pause everything. Everything when we have a super chat. Well, thank you, Auntie Bravo, for that super chat. She says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrong. Let's love this way. Amen and amen. That's biblical, y'all.
That's it. That's the blueprint.
It is. It really, really is. But I think also part of that is with that being said, I think we also we got to keep in mind, we're expecting, some of us who are believers are expecting everybody to love according to biblical ways. You know what I'm saying? And some people are just like, we don't believe the same, but some of us lock in with people who don't believe the same, but we're expecting them to operate in the way that we
and that's why I was gonna say, like, that's something that needs to be defined, right? Like, I think that's when you start communicating, and right, because what I might think love is, someone else might think it's different, right? And so this is the biblical definition, right? And we all know this, right? So how do we help the individual that might not, right, know what this means and what this looks like? Right. And I think sometimes that's where the patience comes. That's where the patience comes in. Right.
Yes, there you go.
I think truthfully, we even, some of us who are on the same God team, struggle with.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it comes in.
But Auntie Sheila is right. We have to love this way, and that's the root. And I think that there's just some things that are just human principles, humane principles that can be acted out, and even in this that she has posted that is biblical. It's the truth. It's true. It's how we need to love.
Yep. So
the E says, I believe we are only too much for the person who is not our person.
That part.
I can agree with that. I've learned that. I didn't always get that, but I've learned that. But I also learned that I had to learn to be reasonable, because sometimes I was
reasonable and realistic.
Who said yes?
And how you be reasonable and realistic. Like, take my marriage for an example. I grew up in the church. My wife grew up in the streets. When we got together, she wanted what I had, but I had to learn how to be patient and reasonable, because it didn't jump off like that at first. It was like, this is easy. Everybody, you can do this. I've been doing it but not realizing, but I came up doing it, where she came up doing the opposite. And then sometimes we have to be realistic. I had to be realistic and I had to be reasonable. Listen, you're going to chase her away because she wants it, and you're not giving her time to develop and grow into it.
Right.
That's it.
You know, but we like you said, you ask a man, you want a man to do A, B, C, and D, and then when they're doing A, B, C, D, and E, because they have some other foresight, naturally, it's going to affect the time that we spend. So again, we have to be reasonable. Is this, if he's making that sacrifice now for the betterment of us later, you know, man is trying to get what he needs to get so that he can be that for us or to us. You know, and he'll make us the priority that he can. And I believe men, I see a lot of men who push themselves beyond limits to satisfy the women in their lives, but they are destroying themselves at the same time, which kind of leads back to what Rock initially said about understanding that men need a timeout as well. Like, ladies, we have to be more sensitive. Like, how are we preparing for that for them? I don't want my man burnt out. You know, yeah, babe, I want you to go do everything that you got to do, but I also don't want you burnt out. You know, I need you to be okay, because then you're making me a priority, but then where is my prioritizing you? I kind of think in your needs and your, so it leads kind of to, like you were saying, Theo, about the balance. You know, it also says that he respects you. He respects your boundaries, which brought up feelings and individuality. As Rock was just saying too, in real time, him and his wife having the difference in the upbringing, but he's respecting or learning to respect her individuality and give her the time to get to where he's at. He doesn't try to control or change you, but accepts you for who you are. Yeah, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. It also says he's protective. He wants to see you thrive and will stand up for you and protect you. I think that is major. He is.
You know the funny part though, Big? You know the funny part, sis, is what you just said, because it's like what attracted me to her was who she was, and then when I got her, then I wanted to change who she was. Right? It doesn't make sense. It makes me look like I got something going on in my head.
Yeah.
But we become attracted to the parts of it because we hear that often. So it's like I'm attracted to who you are. But the truth is, I'm attracted to the who you are that I have seen or that I have known. I learn about you every time a new situation comes up.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, wait a minute. I didn't know you was like that. Well, because we hadn't been, you know, this never happened before. So you wouldn't see this side of me because nothing happened that would cause me to have to show this side. So we fall in love with the pieces of people based on the settings, I want to say, that we are in with them, that we experience them in, because we're forever learning each other and you know, forever learning ourselves, you know. But I do agree with what again Dr. E said. You know, I believe we are only too much for the person who is not our person, because this is where it gets back to, for me, said a couple of shows ago, being committed to the commitment of you know, not just like I gotta be committed to being committed to you. And when I do that, then we could do, as the super chat said, love in all of these multitudes of ways. And it has to be both sides, you know. But I just found it so interesting listening to Trill talk about how some of the ways that a man proves that he loves you. Because women, we have one idea in our mind that may not really be the reality of how men show their love. You know,
well, also
another thing that this says, so again,
right, is he consistent?
Consistency is
key, right? Because in some cases you're meeting their representative, right? In some cases, not all, but in some cases, you know, when you're first starting out with somebody, you got to take time to realize, like, is he doing everything because he knows this is what it takes to get me, right? Versus how consistent is he gonna show up consistently, right? Because another thing, you know, that happens, I think, with both men and women, is sometimes we play our hand and we tell the person, right, who they need to be,
We
right,
tell it all.
right. So, yeah. So I think that's important too, is the consistency.
And that's a good point. And I saw Eric shaking his head too. And Rock. So Rock and Eric, why are we talking about that? Talking about the chase versus, you know, the conquest. Like, how important is that pursuit? You know, why? Because a lot of men are in it for the game of conquering or capturing, you know, getting the hunt, you know, capturing at the end, and not really the relationship. You know, it's like you are the prize in some contest you didn't even know you signed up for, you know, versus the pursuit of the actual relationship. And a lot of times women don't know it until you get to the place where the man is, you know, like you've given in, you know, and he got you open. So is there anything that you can share with us, tell us from a male's perspective? I might get y'all in trouble, but how to tell the difference, or what's that trigger that happens between the chase for the capture of the moment, for the game, or if it's the pursuit for a lifetime?
Go ahead, Rock.
Go ahead, E. Your
Oh,
mic
You
is
okay.
had your
open.
mic off. I thought you was going
You've been
first.
quiet
Oh.
for a while.
So, oh my God, I don't care about getting in trouble. So, here's the thing. Men, when we start out, yes, we're starting out with pursuing you, we're trying to woo you, and so forth and so on. And all 3 months, 90 days down the line, the wooing is still going on. 6 months down the line, you start seeing the slacking off because you already got comfortable with him wooing you. So now he feels like, I can slack off a little bit here. I can slack off a little bit here. I can slack off a little bit, and it keeps declining. Because yes, like you said, you're the prize. Some men are competing for your attention and affection with another man. You just don't know that. You might have 2 or 3 admirers. You're giving attention to one, but not the other 2. But as soon as you start giving your attention to that one, he's already slacking off because he knows he got you what he wants. He already knows that he won the race because you're spending more time with him.
We can't hear you when you're tapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. He knows he already won because you're spending more time with him. What? Why y'all laughing at me? I didn't realize.
I'm laughing at Rock laughing at me.
I didn't realize it was me.
Rock and Dawn.
So yeah, you know, once he sees that you're spending more time with him, he already knows that he won that race. So now the quest is over. If he stays with you, then he's staying with you because he really does like you and really does want to be with you. If he bounces after 6, 9 months, or whatever the case may be, he was only there for that short period of time to get what he wanted from you. And now he's moving on.
Okay, can respect that, because sometimes that pursuit, sometimes from the woman's side, it seems like men put in the same amount of effort, like in the beginning, like whether what your motive is, sometimes is not always clear. There are times that we can tell, which is why we do move really slow, because we know that you're vying for our attention over other people that we're talking to. We are aware. We may not. Why? Because I know who I'm talking to, you know. So while I may give you that time more so than anyone else, you may have more of my time, but you may not have the same quality of time, you know. So when it comes to that fine line of men in the pursuit for the conquest, you know, versus men in pursuit for the relationship, it gets real tricky. And it's sad that sometimes we really don't know until the 11th hour and 59th minute, you know, that he put all of this stuff in just to get here. And then just, you know, the one time Sally moment comes, and then, you know, and then you're out. But it's a real struggle again sometimes, defining those differences. Before Rock shares, let me welcome in. Hello, welcome in. Bishop Patrick is in the building. He says, hey family. Hey Bishop, how are you? And of course it is Vaughn the Invisible Man. Eric is in the house on tonight. Welcome in, Vaughn. Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. So glad you popped in right on time, because this is the Men's Lounge. So men, y'all can chime in. We are talking tonight, just asking some questions to the men folk on tonight. And so we got on the point right now of the chase of the chase to conquer versus the pursuit of relationship. What do you have to say, Rock? And men, please chime in. Please share with us, Patrick and Von Eric.
I don't really know what to say, because for me, the chase and the conquer is the same. I'm the same person. There's nothing no different I do today than I did 25 years ago. You know, it's this. I'm the same. So I never really was into the chasing. It was, I guess me, because I'm just so cut and dry. We're gonna do it or we're not gonna do it. You know, I wasn't into all the drama of the chasing and the playing hard to get.
You say you ain't got no time for that.
I didn't have the patience. I guess I didn't have the patience for it, because to me it was like drama, and I didn't have the patience for it. So because I've had somebody a few years ago was like, "What happened? Why we never got together? Because you said no." Yeah, but I was just saying no, I'm not doing all of that. You said no, I moved on. You know, that was just my thinking. If like you said no, and then you got to remember, when we started coming along, sexual harassment was growing too. So I didn't want to get caught up in all of that either. I wasn't gonna get caught up in that. So they said no, it was no across the board. I didn't try. I barely said hi when I seen them in the street. You know, so I'm really pretty much the same across the board on that.
So I have a question. I have a question, and you know how they say, you know how we've heard that men know, like when they meet somebody, and don't help me out here, because you know what you know how that old adage that a man knows as soon as he meets somebody whether or not she's gonna be his wife or not. What say you men to that? Is there some truth to that?
Before y'all answer, let me just read this comment, because I need to pay attention, because I want to hear more, lean into this myself. And men in the chat, Von Eric and Patrick, y'all prepare to answer too. Patrick said the hunt is fun until you figure out the prize is not worth it. Then we go to another race.
Who said that? Oh, Patrick.
Patrick said that.
Listen.
He said, I ain't running nothing.
Listen. He was like, listen.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. Till you figure out the prize is not worth it. Then we go to another race. He didn't even say we look for another. He said y'all switch lanes. He said y'all go to a whole nother race. Exactly. This game is over. So,
Next.
men
No cut
folk,
cards. Just like, yep.
listen, we're talking about what's the
Roll
proof
out.
that man really loves you. So, as Theo asked, fellas and gentlemen in the chat, do chime in. Do you know? Is that really true for a man that he knows when meeting a woman if she's someone you want for the night or someone you want for life? Like, do you know she is her?
See, that's another hard one for me because I don't know. I want promiscuous, or I didn't get into the one night thing. With me, it was always relationships, and so I would have to say I was more wrong than right because I was looking for a relationship. I look for a relationship. I always look for a relationship because I wasn't, that just wasn't my cup of tea to do that.
Got you. Well,
And I
okay,
just
so
happened to be right 25 years ago, so so the Lord was kind.
the Lord was kind. Now he says the Lord was kind.
But
Okay,
did you know 25 years ago when you met your wife, like this is the one?
Yes.
Is it really something that you?
I won't say I said this is the
feel?
one, but I do remember thinking we can do this. I can do this. I don't know if that's the same, just different words, but I
think
remember
it's the same.
saying I can do this. I can work this right here. I can do this. Yeah. And that was before we actually started, because I think I chased her for about a year before she even gave in. It was about a year.
Did you chased her? You pursued her?
Well, whatever word you like to use.
I was just saying because Patrick said if you're chasing that the hunt, it's fun until
she didn't say no. That made you.
Well, I tell you what, I chased, but it wasn't disappointing. I'll put it that way.
Okay, come
it's
through.
The opposite of what.
But she wasn't like the other girl that said no, and you was like, "I'm out." She just was like,
No, she never said no. She just was like hesitant.
She just didn't say yes, right?
I guess more like flirtatious type.
Yeah, so she flirted that made you say it's worth pursuing.
Flirtation. She had to see what she was about. She had to see what she was about. What is he saying? Let's see. Patrick says, "Love at first sight." I don't know. I haven't run across that yet. Okay, well, keep your eyes open. You never know.
Some of us have, sir.
I mean, I don't. Well, is that really the same thing? I guess it is kind of.
I don't know. I think it's more what Rock said. I think it's more of meeting someone and saying, "This is someone that I could see myself doing."
I could do it.
Doing right.
Yeah. Versus like love it, because I don't know I don't know how many people have done the love at first sight thing. Right.
I
think it might be the conversation we had last week.
I was just ready to say more like lust at first sight, or like at first sight.
Yeah.
There's definitely been some lust at first sight moments. There's definitely been. You got to. There's been some like at first sight. I like what I see. Okay. But
that's
the love at first sight,
make you take a second look.
Right. Hopefully, what he says matches how he looks, and then that's going to enhance the feeling. Okay.
But this is the men's lounge, so we're not going to.
Right. We gonna do that. We're gonna talk about that in November. We're gonna let y'all have your night. We're just asking questions tonight. We just asking.
Right.
Talking about how does a man prove that he really loves you?
One of the sidebar.
It was. But you see, like how we came back, because we appreciate y'all letting us ask y'all questions on tonight. One of the other
be available for you. All gotta be available. You know what I mean? I said that earlier. Gotta be available.
Well, you did. Another point of actions that show love from men that will show that a man really loves you is he is open and honest. He shares his thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities with you and is willing to have tough conversations. And that's one of the things that we've talked about a lot, which is that vulnerability for men. And I'm glad that we do, because there has to be that safe space for a man to be vulnerable. The things that we want to hear as women in your lives, I don't think sometimes we realize it lies on the other side of your vulnerability. Letting a man, making sure that it's safe enough for a man to say, like, I love you, or I feel deeply for you. I find myself, thinking about you, wanting to be with you more. I don't know fully where, these feelings will lead, but I want to explore them. Let's figure out. I don't think that's the same as saying, let's see where it goes, because the man is being specific as to what he's feeling and he's being realistic about it. But that open, honest conversation is one of the ways that a man is willing to show that, from according to what they say, that he loves you, is part of the proof. It also says that he includes you in his life. He introduces you to important people in his life and is proud to be in a relationship with you. That's one of the things that I heard from a older gentleman who was like a mentor to someone I was dating at one point. And so the mentor and I were having a conversation, and he asked me, he said, so when he talks, or when y'all talk, did he ever talk to you about your future? And I was like, what are you talking about, my future? No, he's about my future. My future is, like, I'll be there. And he was like, no, like the future of the two of you, like a future with you, like, seeing things. And I'm like, yeah. It was like, he did. We've had similar conversations and whatnot, but I still didn't take that as a sign of, I would say, proof that he loved me. I took that as, I'm going to be real toxic. I'm amazing. I would date me too. I would want to be with me for life. As well.
How did I know that was coming? How did I know that was coming?
But she so from the higher regard.
But
I'm just
I hear
saying.
you, sis. I hear you, sis. I hear you.
no, but listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
No, you should not be surprised.
But I was going to say what you said prior to that goes back to what Eric said, right? About women being able to show men compassion, right? Because when you show the compassion is what makes them feel like they can be vulnerable and honest and speak, right? Their minds, right? And that you're not going to be like, oh, he's soft, or he's, whatever. Right. So I think, just going back to how Eric started earlier with, it is something to us being able to show compassion.
Because you know what? Because we as men, if we're falling in love with a woman, and we decide we're gonna take that leap of faith and let that be known, we could possibly get shot down. Because we're pouring our heart out to you and telling you how we feel. And then you have some women that be like, well, what do you mean you fall in love with me?
I was about to ask you that, Eric. I was about to say, have you ever had a woman ask you, why do you love me? Or what?
Yeah. Yes.
Rock settled for that.
No, not you. And broke it down. And
I didn't say me.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I said rock set up.
Oh, yeah. And I broke it down to her and told her all the qualities that I liked about her and what I was feeling and how my heart was feeling. And she's like, oh, well, this is just a fun thing for me. I wasn't expecting, I wasn't expecting all of this to happen and so forth. I said, we had a conversation at the beginning, and I asked you what you were looking for, and you told me what you were looking for. And I was on the lines of what you were looking for. So now you're not looking for it. I'm not ready to be in a committed relationship and, this, that, and the third. And so I said, okay. No problem. And the way I'm saying it is just how she said it to me.
But I'm
ready to be.
And see,
thinking,
with
why would
me, it was insecure. They didn't love them. She didn't love herself.
But I'm
It
thinking,
was
why would I make you go through the whole trouble of telling me? Why would I be like, well, what is it that you love about me? You falling in love? If I know I'm not in love with you, like,
Because you're hoping that they don't know, or you're hoping that it's going to be the typical BS, stuff that the lines that men bring up, so you can be like, okay,
you playing games.
Right.
There's an element of that. But what was you saying, Rock? Also, yeah. I'm sorry, Rock was adding something too.
I was saying also that I've been asked in the line of, because they were insecure, they didn't love themselves, and they was like, I don't even like me. Why do you like me? And then you have to go and you have to tell them about the qualities that you see that they don't even see in themselves.
Right.
And but did that make you want to continue dating them, or did you say, like, let me let her work on herself and I'm gonna go over here?
Now I let her work on herself.
You asking me that question?
Yeah, I'm asking why. Because you said, like,
it'd be 26 years in August.
Okay. but that's real talk. I'm asking, like, because some men will walk away from that.
No, right? Yeah. You heard Dawn slam her cup down like,
26 years in August. I don't know.
This guy.
No, but I think the big fella doing something. I don't know what the big fella doing. He doing something though.
He doing something, right?
But no, I think that's a good question, because some men would be like, all right, I don't know what to do with that.
I think sometimes with us too, women, and this was a whole nother show that I was really thinking about having, is, are you really ready for what you prayed for, or what you asked for, or what you said you want? Are you really ready for what you want?
That right there.
Yes. Are you? Because we could want it, like Eric was saying. I asked you up front. Now Eric is pretty good with communicating. So he's gonna tell you, like, and it's just in general, So if the man is asking, or if a person is asking, and you've established that up front, because I'm sure had the response been different, he would not have allowed himself to go that far into the relationship, or even harness his emotions. Like, okay, so I'm going to keep myself in the friendship space so that I'm not putting more into this than I'm getting out of, because I'm trying to build with you.
Especially if you upfront with it, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that answer was just like, completely shocking. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know that I've ever... I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever asked that question. I think for me, when I have asked that question to a man, again, here I go. Y'all know I'm special. It's because I want to know that why. Like legitimately, like, why?
I was gonna say, your reason is probably different than maybe some.
Yeah, just like, because I don't want to,
different,
because people love you for different reasons. People love you from different places. I am. We know. But additionally, it's I'll fight you, bro. Sometimes, and it speaks to Rock's point of insecurity. Somewhere for me that you love. Sometimes it's hard for me to believe that you love the things about me that I dislike about myself.
Now, yes, that makes that makes sense.
Yep.
So it's not so much from an insecure place, but it's like, yo, dude, I'm still trying. Like, I don't even like this. Like, yeah, and like you know what I'm saying? It's like, really, like you.
But then that's where the conversation
piece comes. So I think that's
if you're not liking something about you that person is liking about you, that's a conversation piece. Because if he really respects you or really wants to get to know you, he's going to ask you, well, why is it you don't like that particular part about you? If I can see the good in you, why is it that you can't see the good in yourself? And you start to have a conversation about that, and maybe, just maybe, you come out the show and see that yes, that person, I am worth this person's time.
Yeah.
And this
Or he
person,
might say, I don't like it either.
well,
Right.
well,
And also, right. And also, you have to look at it this way too. Like, this is how I approached it. This is how I approached it.
Feel now.
When
Now think.
because anybody that knows me knows I'm expressive as well. I'm upfront and I'm expressive. So how I approached it was when she mentioned something where I don't like this about me, how do you like this? I said, well, I told her, well, I'm quite sure there's something about me I don't like that you like. That's how we become one.
Mm-hmm.
My weaknesses are your strength and your strengths are, I mean, that's how we become one.
Yeah.
You know, we help, we grow and develop together.
Yeah, you
That's how I
compliment
approached
each
it.
other.
Yeah. That's how I approached it.
I think there's also a way where I don't want to say it becomes as self-righteous. Like so I'm gonna be real transparent. Hold on one second. Oh, here we go. Patrick says, "Ooh, this is good, but I gotta go. Blessings, family." All right, Patrick. Well, so glad that you could chime in at the time that you were here. You know, go do what you do, sir. Okay, telling myself as usual.
Go
So
ahead.
I've had a. So it goes back to that post I said earlier with the, when Mrs. I can do it myself meets Mr. Sit down.
Sit down.
Not even go sit down, just sit down. It's the why do you think that you're the only one that can love someone beyond their flaws?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a real hard check for me. Number one, I'm like, I'm just not used to talking to me like that. But I was like, okay, but you ain't gonna talk to me like that. But apparently you do, And I wouldn't say that it's self-righteous. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I think that people in that position, and even for myself, is from a place of safety, because it's safer for me to be able to love you beyond whatever flaws that you have than for me to open up and be vulnerable and trust that you are really going to still love me just the same, with my flaws. So, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who struggles with that type, of mindset sometimes, but that statement really made me like, okay, I had to do a really hard check and say that's not fair, because you're not allowing me to love you and you're not allowing yourself to be loved. So how do we exist in this relationship? Because then it's always going to be a barrier. Like, what is causing you not to allow that to happen? So I think that that's a real thing. And from women to men, because men will love us, out there, like beyond, like, I love every nook and cranny of you, every crevice, the the fupa, bring them in the arms here, and all of the, like all the things that we're so busy trying to correct of ourselves, but it's nothing wrong, So I think that goes to the self-acceptance, and I know that must be difficult to you men. And I mean, and tell us if we're wrong. That has to be a hard place for you to constantly have to redirect and reaffirm us in that way. But at the same time, if you're committed to the commitment of that person, kind of goes back to what Dr. E said about you're only too much for the person who's, I forget how she put it.
Who's not your person or something.
Right. So who's not your person? Because your person will have the capacity to love you through it. But as women, we also have to meet you on that journey and start coming out of it. And I have to start trusting and believing what you're saying. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, because I think it makes sense.
Is that a struggle for y'all as men? Rockwood, I'm sorry, yeah.
It was in the beginning until I understood. Now, I know a lot of men don't think like this because a lot of men have given me flack. But it was in the beginning for me to to get until I understood part of my responsibility in her life was to help her heal.
Mm.
Mm. That's interesting because remember we had the conversation about helping someone heal versus, I forget what show
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
I've
it's
Yeah.
Because
had
the only way you can support them, the only way you can make them secure emotionally, mentally, you got to be a part of their healing.
And
That's the
they
only
have to
way you
be
can
and they
help them.
have
You
to
got to be a
be
part
ready
of
for
it.
you to be they have to be open to you being a part of their healing, I think though.
They got to be open to it as well, yes.
Yeah.
But you got to be available and
you gotta
willing
be
to
open
be a
to.
part of
Yeah,
it.
you
they
got to
got
be available, but they got to be open to it.
Right, right.
have to be
What
open to
you
hear.
say, Eric? You
I,
gotta be open to hearing themselves. We
they,
couldn't hear you because you faded out for a second.
yeah, they have to be open to healing themselves. That was one of the things that I had to deal with Tasha when she was going through what she was going through with her
Yes.
ex-husband and so forth. And I was like, I said to her, listen, don't fault me for me saying stuff that reminds you of him because I don't know y'all two dynamic conversations and all that other stuff. And I didn't want to know. What I said to her was, you're hurt and you need to recover from that hurt. So you need to find somebody to talk to. I had to find somebody to talk to when I was going through my hurt. You need to find somebody to talk to
Mm.
because that's the only way. That's the only way you're going to be able to really get past all of this. You're saying you're past it, but you're not past it because you keep bringing up the past. Because every time we have a conversation about something, it triggers you. Oh well, when we lived in the house and this, that, and I didn't ask you all that.
Mm.
I didn't ask you all that.
Got you.
So
And that's true. You do that's the beginning of it because somebody can't help you through something you haven't even started
Yeah.
yourself. And we can only support. And I think that's what we were saying too. Welcome in, Landon. Good to see you. Landon said Neo's song, I Ain't Got to Tell You This Is Perfect because we do have to say it. Remind her even if she knows. That is true. That is true. Sometimes you do have to. Oh, hold on a second, y'all. Welcome in, Chocolate Teddy Bear. Welcome in, Rod. Thank you for joining on tonight. Hi, darling. Good to see you. Y'all say hi to Rod, okay?
hey, Rod,
Right.
Okay. Hi. He says she has to be willing and ready for healing, and that is true. That is true. It is definitely you got to be ready
Yeah.
and open to it and start your journey ahead again. No one can help you on your healing journey that you haven't even started.
Got it. Yep.
Until you change in your mind how you think and feel about yourself. And I mean, I've had to do it several times during my life's journey. I'm sure we all have, and getting into that space of self acceptance, not expecting perfection and understanding that I think as women, we tend to think men, y'all expect the perfection out of us. So that's why we try to show up as perfect instead of understanding y'all just want a woman who's real. So men, y'all can chime in the chat too. Is it
Just be
more
real.
the perfection you're looking for, or you just want a woman who's real,
Just be
who's
real.
able to
Just be
embrace
real.
herself? Because I just want to be able to show you, that I ain't got time for perfection.
I'm from
I
New
don't.
York.
I was
You
gonna
from
say
DC.
I don't
Let's be
try to
real.
show up as
Let's be
perfect
real
because
about
I
it.
know I'm.
you're not gonna find perfection. Let's just be real about that. You're not.
Yeah, like
Perfection is not a real thing. I
no,
don't.
not for human beings. No, not at all.
Because we
Beyonce,
always, and what's
Beyonce,
perfect today is going to be flawed tomorrow as time, normal wear and tear of
That's
life.
very possible. That is very possible. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I
Because
started
sometimes things
asking.
that happen is for a season.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is not for, what we did 15 years ago ain't gonna work, may not work today.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So it was for a season, it's for a time. We've matured, we've grown up, and we have developed. So now it's a whole nother plan, it's a whole nother, segment.
Yeah. Because the younger me, woo, Jesus.
Like when me and Tasha when we started dating the second time around, she she kept reminding herself of old me when we was in junior high school.
Mm.
That old me
You
was
62 years old now.
right, right,
He said when they first started dating.
and
They were 9.
it had to be told to her that you can't think of the old Eric in this presence because that Eric has grown so much.
Yeah.
I'm not the same old Eric that I was in junior high school. The shy, the shy boy that kept his head down and just walked through the halls and all that other stuff. No, I've grown through the decades.
I was shy too.
Were you really shy?
Who, me?
No,
After
I was never
84
shy.
years, being 84 now, time will.
Ooh, if I could show,
He's
if I could show
84.
my junior high,
No,
Oh,
he,
wow.
if I
he
could
is
show
not
you
84.
my junior
Oh,
glasses I was wearing, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm not gonna pay.
you just took it like
I'm not gonna pay no attention to Snuffles over there.
you were. So you were shy.
Drinking my water and minding my business. So,
Do that. This is the men's lounge. The men's lounge.
he
You the moderator.
gonna pull rank now.
excuse me, it's on my show. It's on my show. It's on the men's lounge because I said
Here she go. Oh boy.
Okay.
y'all got it. Y'all got it tonight. This is men's lounge. We just ask you some questions. Thank you for allowing us in your space, Theo, and I appreciate. We're just here trying to understand, collect information, so that we could be better people in the lives of the men that we love dearly. That's all.
So the women just have to be open. You have to be able to let your guard down when a man approaches you. And when I say a man, like not jeans and
not boys trapped in men's bodies.
Right.
What's wrong with jeans and Timbs? Hold up, watch your voice, sweet.
Hanging off if the jeans are hanging where you can see his behind, that's not a man.
Well, that's okay.
He's still living that childish ways.
Well, okay. Well, that's just I'll agree with you there. I'm not saying that. I was going to say because some jeans and Timbs ain't nothing
thrown into his body.
Well, jeans and Timbs is different than Timbs with jeans that are hanging off of your butt.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying if a man, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Theo.
Hanging off his butt.
I agree. I'm not saying that nobody wants that. See,
well, you can't say that.
I don't want to see your drawers outside. I'm just saying.
But let me say this though. Let me say this. How they dress, you get what you get.
Right.
It's because dressing is a mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mentality the way you
carry. Yeah, how you carry yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm always in jeans and Timbs, then something comes up and you want me a 10, I come downstairs in jeans and Timbs. Like, well, no. Where's the suit? You need a suit. I ain't putting on no suit.
Okay, so but then
you do need to know when to wear the jeans and the Timbs versus when to put the suit.
Because I was going to say he could be suited and booted every day. And then, he might be that CEO office type guy who is what you do. But when you come home at night, your chill mode is your jeans, your Timbs, your hoodie, your hat. It could be your slacks or whatever, So,
but you still
and depending on the environment,
no jeans.
I'm not going
I just think sometimes we can't as women. Nah.
But would you guys
be day and dress as a corner boy at night? You see
so are you guys okay with women that wear jeans and Timbs?
Long as they don't do it all the time.
Because I'm gonna throw on some jeans and some Timbs now.
Right. Not every day. Not every day.
But
not every day.
Here's the difference.
You ain't got jeans and Timbs on there. You try to be all dialed up.
You don't know that.
No. But why I asked that question is because, believe it or not, a guy broke up with me because he said I wasn't a girly girl.
Really, bro? That's what we doing?
No, I don't
You
believe
know-
that. I don't believe that.
And you know
Yeah.
what he meant by girly girl? He meant that
Yes.
it was because I wasn't always in makeup and
Right,
high
right.
heels and all
I don't
that.
believe that. No.
And I was
no.
like, yo, it took you 2 years to realize that I wasn't a girly girl, that I like
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
sneakers sometimes.
Welcome to Paris.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's crazy.
But no, that's true. So a guy like he was like, "Oh, you're such a you're not like anybody I ever dated before. You're good, like all the good stuff." But he was like, "You're not a girly girl."
Like my wife loves jeans. She got more jeans than anything, right? So she loves jeans.
Mhm.
But if we're doing something or something comes up, I don't have to worry about her coming out the room with jeans and a t-shirt on,
Exactly.
right?
Like you're not
Right.
expecting
When
her
you come out the
to
room,
be in heels
right.
and makeup and whatever.
Right.
You want a woman who is versatile, who is
Yeah.
able to go from, from the street in a sense, respectfully,
you want
to-
from a lady in the street to a freaking all that. Yeah.
That's what my dad used to say. That's what my dad said. As he told it,
I don't want you dressing. I don't want you dressing
You know what Ludacris said?
like you're a corner thug. You know,
Exactly. You don't want her dressing like
I don't want you.
No, but you
you don't want her dressing like she's on Hunt's Point.
Right. No, well, not on point. Just
Jesus Christ. Let me drink no water.
on the corner with a bodega.
She downtown.
For the last 4 hours, you just standing there. You know.
But I mean, okay.
I'm talking to You know how to present yourself when you're going out.
Exactly.
Of course. And that's with everyone. But
And
then
vice versa.
but it also gets into the place that when we have that mindset, then a lot of men say that women we don't like or want the blue collar guy. You don't want the guy who gets his hands dirty. You don't want that kind of guy. This is what, and it could just be me. And I mean, Theo, you can share, but on my side, a lot of men who are in that bracket get attitudes with women because they're thinking that, oh, we're always going to just go for the CEO, or we're always going to go for the dude in the suit. Oh, no, bro, I don't really care what you do as long as it's legal.
The most important thing is mentality.
Yeah,
You can wear jeans and Timbs, but what is their mentality?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? What is their mentality?
Yeah. I was gonna say it goes back to
If
what
you wearing
Rock said
jeans
about
and Timbs
insecurity.
and you thuggish all the time, that means your mentality has matched what you wearing.
Right.
Listen, I think you got to be balanced. This is like,
It has to be a
love,
balance.
I love a gentleman. I do. I love a gentleman, but you got to also have some grit. Like you got, I mean, I'm good. I'm good. I got good balance.
You can't be a punk if somebody.
You all right over there?
Girl in the street.
Me, I'm sorry. I was having my own moment.
I'm just saying. I'll just make sure my
And-
all right.
and
I'm just, this is good because I'm just saying, I started thinking about it. I was like, they got the best of both worlds, still.
I mean, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance.
Right.
And I think that has to be on both sides. We have to be able to represent each other well in all arenas, and that goes back. That goes to the choices that we make. I hope you heard us say, "Hey, Paris, welcome in." Good to see you. Don't start, E.
I'm not starting. I just said hello, Paris.
Oh, I thought you said, "Oh gosh." All right, my bad. My hearing is going. So, but with that in mind, again, oh Lord, here we go. She said, "Can I date a mobster? He dresses well and handles business." I mean,
Listen, well, we just said,
They do
we
be
just
dressing though,
said-
parents. They do be dressing.
But then we just say they have, as long as they're doing something illegal.
I said.
It's organized. It's organized.
I
It's organized.
Oh,
That's what I said. I can't speak for everybody. I'm only speaking for me and for what I got. You know what I'm saying? We good over here. We got balance. Like
I would say if as long as you're not doing something that might get me killed.
Yeah. Okay.
So that monster thing might be a little.
Right. And this is what makes a difference in, as we're saying, how man loves you, that he includes you in his life. We don't want to be included in that kind of life. That's not the kind of life we want to be included in. You can leave us out of that. You can leave us out. Just leave us out.
What do you do? Oh, come on over to the apartment. I'll show you where.
No, it's okay. I'll meet you at the corner. Another point that was made about how a man shows Z loves you. I can't even pull it back together now.
We're not like this after 8:30, so
right. It is. We turned the corner, but I like this one, and I think this is very important because I think in some degree, at some point, I didn't give this point as much weight. Like, I don't want to say I discounted it, but it says when he is emotionally invested, he listens to you, shows empathy, and is genuinely interested in your life. He also feels good when you are happy and fulfilled. Men being emotionally invested in a woman, I think, is major and key. Because you can like a whole lot of women or a whole lot of people, but the level of emotion and your heart and your time, like your feelings that you give to a woman, makes a world of difference. And I didn't really, right? And I didn't really understand that to the degree, like how deep that really is to a man to be emotionally invested. And when it was said to me, I was like, that just made all the difference in the world to me, because you can have 62 people trying to talk to you, saying the same things to you day in, day out, you know, checking on you morning, noon, and night and all of that. But it just feels like a system. You know, I'm like, shoot, the bill collector will call you on a regular, you know, they got a cycle too. But there's no investment. But if we only talk every once in a while, but again, the quality of that time, you know, and you are invested in me emotionally, and I can sense that and I can feel that, that beats out everybody else and everything else, you know, because that's really what you want. And as men, y'all don't give that kind of space to every woman and like it takes a lot for y'all to emotionally invest in a woman. I think more so women, I think we're much easier to emotionally invest in men, but men, y'all, it's different for, am I right?
Well, it doesn't even matter. Like, well, you know that for a fact, because we be on other lives, and somebody will say, well, we're all y'all sisters. We all, but big bro, we all your sister. Yeah, but you're not baby sis. It's different. That's right. So there's different level. So there's a different level. Don't ever put yourself on that level again, or you won't even be a sister. Right. So, oh no, Theo, I go with it.
Okay. I miss.
It's true. It's true.
I know it because I told you.
Let me bring it down. I know. I want baby sis calling me after this is over and say, bro.
We make it very clear. We have no shame, and we made it very clear from day one.
If you think that was rough, you need to hear Dawn. Dawn is working.
Because I was gonna say, I know it.
Oh, I pop up.
Yeah,
what?
It's a difference. And but see, what happens is people believe, like, I'll let Eric say something. Now all the guys on there think they can say the same thing. And then when I clap back, well, he said it. You're not Eric. You're Don. Right? And but people don't get it. So there's different levels to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So some people can't get away with what Dawn or Theo may say. Ain't nobody else gonna be able to get away with that. Mm-hmm. And they may say what they say, you ain't them. So, and if you ever do that again, it's gonna.
I mean, I just feel like, you know, it does. I think it is different, but I do feel like, again, we get back to the vulnerability for a man to be emotionally invested in you, right? Like they have to feel safe to, you know, and it depends on what you consider emotionally invested. Like I might feel like you're emotionally invested in the fact that I want you to go take my car to to the car wash.
Will somebody please take her car and dry it off and vacuum it for her, please?
Those car gets taken to the car wash. I gotta look out for my sis. I have to.
Girl, if we was close by, I would get over there and get your car. Take it to the car.
But you know, I also think this too, though.
Hey, sis, she's serious about that car wash, though.
Same plan. I will say this though, when it comes to the emotional investment, it depends on the man.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't.
Yeah.
You can put all your emotions out there. I don't want them. Yeah. You're not him. When him shows up, I don't care if you give me 2 minutes. That 2 minutes will take me until the next time we have 2 minutes. You know, because of.
But it goes back to what Dr. Elaine said. If it's your person,
right, because I've learned the value of the emotional investment in a different way, and learning. For me, it was I did not trust what you're saying because I'm not sure where your emotions are coming from, whether it's self-motivated or if you are really, when you see me how I fit in your life, you know, or is it just seeing what you want out of my life for you? So, you know, you putting that in is self-motivated, but like you said, it's the right person. So, you know, like, I'm like, I don't care. You could profess Song of Solomon and Shakespeare all day long. I like, okay. Like it still would not affect me again, but him could say 2 words, you know, sit down, you know, those 2, I'm stuck on that, you know, and okay. And you got it. So that emotional investment makes a world of difference. And ladies, when a man is emotionally investing in you, I think we have to be very careful in how we receive that and what we do with it.
Yeah.
You know, because
you can't take it for granted because he'll know right away.
I was gonna say
know right away if you take it for granted or if you don't appreciate it. And I think one of the worst things you can do if a man is invested and it's not appreciated, that's one of the worst emptiness or pains he probably can feel. Because because I don't even think it takes a lot for us to open up. It's just we're not given the opportunity to open up. And when we open up, and if it's not appreciated, it can turn on you pretty good. It can turn on you.
Let me tell you real quick.
Can it, baby sis?
What?
Joey, many moons ago, out of the blue, reached out to me on Facebook Messenger because she needed me to co-sign it as a reference for her to get a job with the feds. I was like, "You joking, right?" And she said, "No, I'm not joking. I'm very serious. And the only reason I'm calling," and this is what she said, "the only reason I'm calling you is because any of my other exes I can't get in contact with."
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
I found you. I found you on Facebook and you know, sent you a message. You reached back out to me. I was like, really? Interesting.
That would have been a block. That would have been a block of everything for me.
Block. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, how's this gonna play out? She's like, so you know, if it's okay, I'm gonna give the recruiter your number so that way they can call and talk to you and so forth. I said, so you really want me to talk to these people?
Like, no hablo inglés.
To these people? So you want me to talk to the feds for you? All right.
I was gonna say you got to be careful who you ask for a reference.
You should have gave the phone to Tasha.
Okay. No, yeah, I know, right? But Tasha wasn't here, and so
that's okay.
And I was just like, all right. I said, you know what? I don't want I don't want no bad juju coming back on me. So when the recruiter reached out to me, I told him what kind of person they was, and so forth. I put my feelings to the side. Yeah, you stomped all over my heart, but it's okay. I hope you do well with this job.
That is so kind of you.
And
That
the
was
nerve of
kind
some
of you.
people, they know how they treated you, and they the nerve of them to even ask for something on that level.
Right.
Well, we are just glad that you did not put
I
your
can't be so lucky for somebody to ask me something like that after they did. I can't be so lucky.
Oh, yeah.
People don't ask me stuff like that.
glad you did not invest your emotions into that situation any further.
No, I did not.
But I think this was really good. This is really good, and I'm hopeful that we have helped some people to open up some thoughts and some dialogue and just hit some points, because something happens when the men speak, and we want them to keep talking. So, ladies, please make sure that when a man is being or showing emotional investment, when he's including you in his life, when he's being open and honest, when he is being protective, and when he's showing respect to you and makes you a priority, that we are receiving that and making sure that they understand that we do have that, as you said, that compassion, and that we will make room for them when they need to take a time out as well. I think men's mental, emotional, and spiritual health is so important. And men need breaks regularly, just as we do. They carry burdens for all of us, and we expect them to find the results. Who else do we go to? But the men in our lives. But with that being said, let's try to take some of the stresses and pressures off of them as they are trying to find ways to resolve whatever may be happening, because they do want to be our covering. They do want to be our protectors. And they do want to be those genuine, loving men in our lives that we know them to be. With that being said, I want to end this segment by saying love in a man is triggered by a combination of emotional, psychological, and biological factors, such as feeling respected and admired, emotional intimacy through vulnerability and communication, and a sense of excitement and novelty. Emotional and psychological triggers for men are vulnerability and communication, respect and admiration. Emotional availability, I think, is a major key. When a man is emotionally available to you, please, ladies, guard it with your life. Guard them with your life. It is major. They fight enough in the world so that we don't have to. Don't let them come home and have betrayal is an inside job, and we don't want that. Okay. Confidence and authenticity, shared values and experiences, and appreciation and support. Regularly expressing appreciation, complimenting him, and being a supportive partner reinforces his value and the strength of the relationship. So, men, know that you are appreciated. You are amazing. We hope as women, we learn to be better supports to you so that we can reinforce how much we value the placement of you in our lives. Because at the end of the day, we want to build stronger relationships. I was going to end the segment with a poem, but I didn't finish it. But I will say this, and I hope the men are listening. It's called The Apology, and I just will say this to you. Men, I apologize for every wrong that you've experienced and that you felt that we as women have not addressed, we have not acknowledged, and we have not worked to help you heal. We as women, I can't really say all of us, but for those, I apologize, because some men need to hear it. I apologize for that woman who did not value you, who did not who took you for granted and who did not appreciate what you brought, not just to the table, but what you bring into our lives. I apologize for every woman that took advantage, for every moment that your heart was not treated fairly and that your spirit was broken. I apologize for the times that you were left to fend for yourself, not feeling supported, not feeling cared for, and again, not feeling appreciated. So as soon as I finish that poem, I will read it completely. But just from my heart, I want our men to know that I apologize. And I pray that your healings would begin so that you can continue to show up being the amazing men that you are. Thank you for being in our lives. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for being exactly who you are. Oh, thank you, Paris. She said we felt that apology in the chat. Amen. I wanted you to, and I want our men to know. Some of them have never heard.
We
I don't think I ever got no apology like that before.
Some men have never heard I'm sorry. Some men have never heard I apologize. Some men have never heard that I see you, and that I not only do I see you, but I value you. And I believe
I've never heard I appreciate you.
Right. So it was important to me that this men's lounge that made sure that that was a part of the conversation, because I think as a mom, my son is 23, and there are times when I have to apologize to him. Mm-hmm. Not even so much because I am wrong, but sometimes the way we respond, the way we show up, the way we express it is what's wrong, and it adds more damage. And I don't want him to go around feeling that he's never heard I'm sorry or I apologize, so that he needs to know that he is deserving of an apology. He's worth that. You're not expected to just take the hard hit and just walk it off. Yeah. So,
I love Rock. Yeah, I think women that are raising males, it's important also to say I love you, to be affectionate, to show that, right? Because a lot of men you will find they're not used to that. Right? And it's probably some women too, but we're talking about men now. But a lot of men didn't grow up hearing "I love you," right?
And didn't hear it from a woman.
Exactly.
Didn't hear from. It's one thing to hear from your dad. Didn't hear from a woman because you were taught to cover and protect or just show up and serve. But it's important that you know that you are valued. We would not be who we are without you. We could not be who we are without you. So I promise you I'm gonna finish it. That was just me speaking from the heart right now. But when I finish
it, you was reading that. That was from your heart. Oh man, now I'm about to
no, I literally I was just speaking from the heart. It's the sentiment. No, I didn't even bother because I didn't want to do it disservice, because when I read it, I want it to be complete, because I want the men to get the full feel of it, and I would like for all of our men to be here. But for those who are listening, know that you are loved, know that you are appreciated, know that you are valued, know that you are seen and you are heard, and that we do have your back.
Know that you're not alone. Know that you are respected.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for that, Coach Theo. Yes, indeed. And prepare to be loved on by us. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight and for us having another great conversation here on Thursday nights on the Bravo with Sheila Network. You know you got very hard. Thank you, baby. I really do. I really that's my baby, y'all. Love me some him. But I really do want men to know that you are appreciated in ways you could not imagine, and you are supported. So again, once I finish it all, I am gonna read it and share it. Thank you, Paris. Thank you, Paris. We want to wish everyone a good night on tonight.
Can I
But
say something real quick? Can I say something real
yes, you
quick?
can. Yes, you can.
I want to thank y'all for allowing us to be men and giving us time and having patience with us to continue to develop to become better men.
Mm.
Because if it wasn't for y'all allowing us to be men, we would be lost.
Listen, we thank you for that. We appreciate you willing to be men, men, like men, and show up and be that right, wrong, indifferent. Again, not perfect, but just present, so that we can definitely work with each other. I as a woman, I feel like, see, I'm trying to end the show. This ain't working. But it's important because let me pause the music again. It just is what it is. It's the moment. So I don't want to cut the moment off because I feel like it's a healing moment. But I think it is important. It's very important that men know. I always say, women, we have a womb, and our wombs are built to cover, to protect, and to store. That's a part of what we're created for. And yes, while we carry children in it, but even with that, it is built to hold all of your issues, your struggles, your problems, your disappointments, to help lighten your load. Like, we are here to be that safe space for you. And I am so sorry. I really am, for every woman that has disappointed you along this journey, who did not have the patience. I apologize to the men in my life, or previously in my life, who I may have, not even I may have, I'm just gonna own it, that I have shown up that way for. I mean, I've honestly can say I try my best to show up 1000% as a woman in a man's life, but I fall short, and for whatever I may have missed. If I didn't have patience, if I wasn't as loving, if I wasn't as kind, if I didn't speak life, it is our job, to speak life into you as men. And so we have to be mindful of our words. I am very mindful of the power of my words now, and never want another man to be destroyed or in a destructive position because I said something or I did not say something. So I'm always going to speak life, always going to big you up. And we as women have to learn how to do that, not take your low moments as an opportunity to push you further. So thank you for allowing us to share. Thank you for just for not giving up, because I shared a post earlier in our group chat about a young man who was on TikTok going off and had such anger and bitterness and like hatred towards women altogether.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was just like, what, because of one woman, now he is wounded towards all women.
Yeah.
And that is a horrible place to be. And it got to the point where he was saying, he's going to cross cultures and start dating outside. So, it was the melanated women that he's talking to. But how many other men out here are in that hard heart place that women, especially us melanated women, we got to go rescue our men. We got to go rescue their hearts. That's somebody's son. Could be somebody's father. We're responsible for y'all. So thank you for still being willing to be men and show up as such. Anybody else want to say something before I attempt to close one more time?
No, I'm good.
No.
I think you summed it up well.
All right, chat, y'all good. We appreciate y'all hanging in there with us tonight. We really do. And this is where healing begins, and it's what we look forward to and what we are here to help to do. It's a safe space. So with that being said, I do want to wish everyone a great night. I really hope this conversation has been helpful, whether you're watching it live or during the replay. Continue to show up for us now. November, it's gonna be November to remember. Just trying to tell y'all some good things coming up because we are having some celebrations taking place. That's right. November is
coming up.
That's right. Don't be like. See, I just gave you an apology. You see how y'all acting now? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. I'm just saying. Next week we're going to be talking about effective communication. Now we talk about communication a lot, but sometimes all communication is not effective. All communication is not good, and we wonder why we are not getting some of the results that we are really looking for. So that's going to be one of our topics that we are going to be discussing in the month of November. And then we are going to talk on the 13th. We're going to talk about the table. Everybody talking about what you bring into the table. We're going to talk about the table. Who came up with this table? Where did this table even come from? And what should be on it? But we're going to talk about it. And then on November 20th is the day after my birthday. You're going to come right here. We're going to have a poetic celebration. So come in, celebrate with me, celebrate with us. It's going to be a great night. We're going to talk, we're going to chill, we're going to toast, we're going to have cupcakes, all the things. All right. And we're going to have the greatest November ever. So love you guys. Have a great, great night.
Thank you
all for tuning in. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you, Coach Theo, for being in the house as always. And we'll see y'all next week. Good night.
Informant, that information for me. Important, you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings are not a snoring. You mellow.